Good morning everybody and welcome to the Mew Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. Considering we just did a Pidgey run last time, yeah, we definitely did a big overpowered Pokemon to do the next run with. And that is going to be Mew, the progenitor of all Pokemon, pretty much, I think, yeah. It is a Psychic type Pokemon with a base stat total of 600, evenly spread in 100 across every single stat. And you might think this is going to be much better than Mewtwo. Well, we'll soon find out, I guess. Our rival for today is going to be Arrowbox, one of the most prominent subscribers on my channel right now. Thank you for subscribing, welcome to this channel, I hope you enjoy being the Mew rival. Mew's trope in this game, it was actually not available unless it was found under an event. Of course, we always thought that it was under the truck at Vermilion City, near the SSN, but no, it is not normally attainable unless you do glitches or it was an event. But considering we can learn literally every single TM in this generation, we only start off with the move Pound, and we don't get another move until level 10, which is Transform. But I'm going to show you something pretty cool when we get over to Brock. Because we have such great base stats to work with, we are just going to go straight for this. We're going to try and go against a few trainers in Viridian Forest just to get our levels up and get Transform level 10. But yeah, I'm going to show you some pretty cool techniques to start off with, and why Pound and Transform will literally be all you need to make it through Brock. So once we have managed to get back from delivering Oak's parcel, we'll progress down to Pewter City. Now we're progressing up to Pewter City. We are going to go and pick up the potion here, because that gives us a bit more to work with, so we don't have to go back to the Pokemon Center as much. And we are going to go against as many trainers as we can. Now, even though we do have a good attacking stat at 100, it's just 100 flat for every single base stat. Pound's still not doing all too much damage in this early game because it's only 40 base power. We want to get rid of it as soon as possible, but we are going to go against all the mandatory trainers we can do at this point in the game, because we don't have the greatest, our growth rates are not the best, so we might as well get a few levels here and head over to Brock with as much to work with as possible. But we definitely need Transform for this fight. And you might be thinking, why Transform? Well, I'll show you pretty soon. Once we've beaten all the trainers here, we've got all the way up to level 10, maybe around about level 11. Level 10 11 may not be what we really need here, but we are going to miss out the Light Years trainer and go straight for Brock. So Brock has got, of course, got his Geodude and he has got his Onix. We pretty much want to try and get through the Geodude as quick as possible, and I made a mistake here. So Transform is definitely going to help us out in this fight, but it's not going to come from the Geodude. What we need to do is really get through that Geodude as quick as possible just by using Pound alone, hoping to God that we get some critical hits, because we've got quite a high speed stat, which means we will get quite a few critical hits in this run. If you're not aware, in Gen 1 your critical hit chance is based off your base speed, so the higher your base speed, the more critical hits you get. And this is why we didn't win this very first attempt against Brock at level 10. Using Struggle, we just don't have enough HP to work with when it comes through to the Onix, but the Onix's moveset here actually is what we want to transform into, and I'll show you now. So, as I said, we want to go against this Geodude, and we've got up to level 12 here to do this, just to give ourselves a little bit more to work with. We want to use Pound and just take it down as quick as possible. It is going to use a lot of defense curls, so you need to try and keep as much HP going through the Geodude as possible, because we're going to need to be utilising the move Bide when it comes to Onix. Now, by the time we get through this Geodude at level 12, we don't really have too much HP to work with here. But what we can do, we can transform into the Onix, we can Screech to get its defenses down, and then while it's using Bide, we can also use Bide as well. So if he actually does hit us, it'll accumulate damage, and we can actually deal out more damage than we would with just Tackle alone. But we need to be strategic about it. We can't just go Bide spamming our way through this fight, because he also uses Bide himself. We need to make sure, I mean, look at that there, we took a bit of damage and Bide did huge on his Onix. Onix doesn't have the greatest HP, so yeah, we definitely need Bide in this, because if we get hit by maybe 3 points of damage, it's going to accumulate and hit back really, really hard. And there you go. Transform Mew is great for Brock. It makes it viable at a low level, and we progress straight on through Mount Moon and go to Cerulean City. Now, there's not all too many moves that we've managed to pick up. We have picked up the Mega Punch TM, just because it's pretty much the only really good move we can get. We've also picked up the Water Gun TM for a bit of type coverage. And we're going to go against the rival straight away here. We have had to go against a few more optional fights to get through Mount Moon. And we are going to get up to around about level 20 before we even go against Misty. But the rival is not too much of a problem whatsoever. You might be thinking, why have I gave him a Charmander? Just because when you've got every single move and TM move available, there's not much that you really need to worry about in the late game in terms of type coverage, especially with Mew. But as per normal, when we have all of the moves available, we will probably be going for the Bolt, like the Bolt Beam combo. It hits the majority of things for super effective damage and gives us the best amount of coverage to work with. So at level 20, we are going against Misty, and Mega Punch is a one-shot. We missed the very first Mega Punch on the Starmie, but it's doing about a third of their damage. So with a critical hit, we get the win, and we can progress on to Vermilion City. You might be looking at the length of this video thinking, well, this is going to be a very quick video. This must end up being a very quick run. Yeah, it's going to be a quick run. We're also going to pick up Body Slam as well, so we can get a more reliable normal type move to work with. Because through fair Mega Punch, with it only having 85% accuracy, yeah, I'd rather have Body Slam who's got 100% accuracy. The rival, it doesn't even matter what level you really are for this fight, whether you're level 24 like I am, or probably a bit lower. This is a very easy fight regardless, because Mew is just that well balanced. We beat the rival first time and progress on to Surge, where we have to spend ages. This is probably why I lost the most amount of time, was actually trying to find this bloody switch. We managed to find the switch eventually and go against Surge. Now, the reason why I went for the TM Body Slam was because, well, most of Surge's team is very defensively weak, so Body Slam is the perfect move to take them all on. And we take barely any damage, pick up the Thunderbolt TM, and progress onto Rock Tunnel, which the Exploding Hike is not going to be a problem for us as well, because we got Bubble Beam from Misty. When you have every single TM available to you in your arsenal, you're sailing through this game so easily. It's really, really fun. And if you are looking for a solo run where you don't have to think too much about it, you can just have fun and just destroy everything, I'd definitely recommend the Mew. Apart from going against Brock, you don't really have all too much to worry about in the entire run. We also could learn the move Metronome there, which, nah, I might look at doing a Metronome only run in Gen 1 at some point, but yeah, for now, we're just going to sweep through, because with the solo runs, I am trying for the best time, the best levels, to eventually rank every single Pokemon in this generation. And I'd rather get through this as quick as I can. So, Erica is up 4th, and we are going against her Victory Bell. And we hit a problem. Again, it's the Victory Bell which is the problem, and it comes in the form of Sleep Powder and Razor Leaf. We don't wake up quick enough, so we have to go take a loss and pick up the Ice Beam TM. I was hoping I could do that fight without Ice Beam, but it just didn't become... It was too tricky. So we went and picked up Ice Beam, and Victory Bell becomes very mute in comparison. Ice Beam is just an incredible move, especially when you get it at the 4th gym. So yeah, we take an easy win once we have Ice Beam and progress on through this challenge. The next challenge, of course, is going to be the Giovanni Rocket side quest. And considering we've got all these moves available, we've got Water type moves, we've got Ice type moves, we really don't have to worry all too much. Rhyhorn and Onix go down to 1 Ice Beam, and then Kangaskhan goes down to 2. Quite surprised it managed to tank at least 1, but either way, it's kind of bulky compared to the other 2. So, with Celadon completed, that means we can progress back to Lavender Tower and beat the Rockets in the Lavender Tower. Doing that as well, we can also pick up the TM for Psychic, otherwise we'd have to wait until level 40. But this just means we've now got the Bolt Beam Psychic combo, and these 3 moves alone are insane in this generation. Psychic is just overpowered. We've also got stab damage on it as well. Ice hits so many things for super effective damage, whether they're flying, whether they're dragging. We don't have to worry whatsoever. But there is even one more move that we are going to get, and that is going to be on floor 10 of Silphcore. We are going to go for the Earthquake TM for even more coverage. And this will be everything we need for the rest of this run now. We've got Earthquake, we've got Psychic, we've got Thunderbolt, we've got Ice Beam, and we have got Psychic. Well, I said Psychic already? Psychic, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Earthquake. Yeah. We've got physical attacking moves, we've got special attacking moves, we've got tight coverage. We've got everything we need to make this viable. Only thing we don't really have is a HP recovery move, but we're not going to need it. We beat Arrowbox in Silphcore, under level compared to his ace, and we progress on to Giovanni. We are sailing through this run so quickly, so I am honestly at this point thinking we have a contender to beat Mewtwo right now. But Mewtwo had a bit of an edge to start off with on his run. Mewtwo does start off with Confusion, it gets a Stab Psychic move, which is perfect if we're going against Brock. But yeah, we're going to have to find out whether that is enough to make Mewtwo keep its spot at the top. Sabrina is up next, and because we've got Earthquake on our moveset, we've got a powerful physical move to take out the majority of her Pokemon. We really don't need to worry too much in this gym at all because we are resisted against most things apart from Leech Life. But yeah, the Alakazam just pales in comparison to our Mew. And this is a really fun run because I've actually never done a Mew run before. I've never even used Mew before. And growing up as a kid, I didn't even know about the Mew glitch where you could actually get it in your cartridge game. But I remember always believing that under the truck, using strength on the truck at Vermilion. I tried that so many times and I never got a Mew. So this is cool. I like this run. Koga is not going to be a problem for us whatsoever. It's just going to be 4 Psychics into the ground and we get the 6th badge here because we've got the 5th badge against Sabrina. I've got to ask you guys, when you were growing up, what other rumours and schoolyard rumours did you hear about the Pokemon games when you were growing up? I'd love to hear them in the comments and see if they were the same rumours that went around my playgrounds, because there's different rumours that have came about over the years, and it depended on where you were, like, as to whether you heard them or not, but the Mew one was pretty global, I would say. So yeah, let me know them down in the comments. You might be wondering, your speech and your narration this time round is a bit weird. Well, listen to the Pidgey video, I've recorded both on the same day, and I've just come off the back of a stag weekend in Anik. So, yeah, I am still recovering from that. I am still rough, and don't drink, kids. It messes you up. Don't play pub golf as well. Pub golf is brutal. If you need an explanation of that, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try my best to explain it. But I don't remember much of the weekend I've just been on. So, let's go through to the last gym. We are sailing through this incredibly quickly, and we'll sail through this one just as much the same. Giovanni is really no worries whatsoever when you have Ice Beam on your moveset. Every single Pokemon he has is either weak to it or takes massive damage from it. You can switch to using Psychic for the Nidos if you need to, but we take barely any damage, and we're not even we've only just reached level 46 here, and we've got all 8 badges. So what's next? Well, we have the rival battle next against Arrowbox again. And this is going to be... it's going to depend on what moves really get hit. We really should be using Thunderbolt against the Pidgeot. Ice Beam for the Rhyhorn. Ice Beam again for the Execute. Thunderbolt for the Gyarados is 4 times effective. Alakazam we need to use Earthquake, and it's not a one-shot. He manages to get armor up. And then after that, Thunderbolt for the Charizard. We didn't even take a single point of damage there. Let's progress on to the league and see how we do there, because Normally, the very first trainer, we have massive issues against him, regardless of what Pokemon you bring into the league. But with Thunderbolt on your moveset and being a legendary, or is it a legendary or is it classed as a mythical? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's classed as a mythical. Either way, with this Pokemon, we should have a much easier time. Let's see how we do. Lorelei's up first, and majority of her team are water Pokemon. We've got Thunderbolt take down the majority of them, but Thunderbolt's not a one-shot even on the Cloyster with its really bad special. Slowbro is going to be a two-shot, and we've also been hit by Growl a couple of times, which is not the greatest concern. We now need to take on the Jinx. We get paralysed by the Jinx, we get slapped around by the Jinx, but when the Lapras comes out, for some reason it only goes for Hydro Pump and Body Slam. We get an easy win and progress on to Bruno. Now, as a Psychic type, this is going to be a complete whitewash. We Psychic, we Psychic, we Psychic, and again. And the final one, we take him down. We've only just breached level 50. With Agatha up next as well, the main thing here is I'm just hoping we can outspeed. We can either use Psychic or we can use Earthquake to take down the majority of her team. And thankfully, we do outspeed the entirety of her team. We are only level 51 and we can still outspeed the likes of Gengar. Crazy, isn't it? But yeah, Earthquake's a great move in this fight as well, especially against all of these poison types. The only one it's not effective against is the Golbat. But we take a pretty quick win here and progress on to Lance. Now we are completely set up here to take out Lance incredibly quickly. But Thunderbolt was not a one-shot on Gyarados. Ice Beam is not a one-shot on the Dragonairs. So this could go not our way pretty quickly if they get some Hyper Beams in. Aerodactyl is out next. We're going to go for the Ice Beam and it's not a one-shot. I should have been going for Thunderbolt because that is super effective. And we're on 30 HP going into Dragonite and it's still not a one-shot. And we actually get taken down by Lance. I can't remember the last time we lost in this run, but to lose to Lance, really, really annoying. We managed to get back through to him. We take down the Dragonairs again at level 52, but we're already at 99 HP going into the Aerodactyl. This time we do go for Thunderbolt, and this is going to be the difference. And for some reason, it must have been arranged, but Ice Beam takes out the Dragonite in one. We're already just encroaching on level 53 here, going into the final fight. Arrowbox has been a great rival and a great subscriber to this channel. Thank you for subscribing, and let's see how you do in this final fight. Pidgeot goes down pretty quickly, and that brings us into the Alakazam, who goes down to a couple of Earthquakes. Ice Beam is not a one-shot on Rhydon, but we also do take a Leer there, which inadvertently does induce the Badge Boost glitch slightly. It's something that we haven't set up. I can't control if the AI does that. We get through to the Charizard and a couple of Thunderbolts get us the win. We finish on level 55. Is that going to be better than the Mewtwo run? We need to see the time. Let's see what we got. Level 55 and 2 hours 43 minutes. That is not beating Mewtwo. And I don't know if there is a Pokemon left to do on these runs that can actually now beat Mewtwo. So we might have our king of Gen 1 completely just without any competition. But this is a fun video. If you need to do a Gen 1 solo run and you just want to have fun, I'd recommend a Mew because you can get through pretty quickly. You don't have to take up too much of your day. Okay, let's see what we're going to get next on the wheel. There's barely much else left to choose here. We are really into the end game of all these runs. Flareon is first. That will close out all the evolutions. That might be a strong choice, and I know you guys love the evolutions. Grimer is up second, and that's going to be a difficult run. Might leave that for another day. And lastly, Moltres. Ooh, nah, I'm going to go for Flareon. Flareon probably be a bit more enjoyable. If you got to this point in the video, guys, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends, and I will see you next week for another solo run. Take care.